Grisha!
Boże, Ojcze,
My boy! My Grisha! My boy! My little boy! Grisha! My boy! My little boy! My Grisha! My boy!
Train.
It's arrived. Two o'clock. It will be light in a couple of hours.
Why didn't you wake me?
I thought you'd already gone to the station.
They were due in at midnight.
Sorry.
I come all this way to meet her. She can't have changed much. Not in 5 years. She's an amazing woman, you know, down to earth. Do you know how we met? My father punched me in the face. He was drunk, he was in those days. She brought me into this room, into the nursery, got me to the sink, cleaned me up. Don't worry, little peasant, she said. It'll heal in time for your wedding. And she was right. I'm still a peasant. Oh, she made sure I had an education, but underneath this expensive suit, I'm no different from my father. Do you know what I was trying to read just now? Tolstoy, Anna Karenina. I just don't see the point of it. I found it rather dry, if I'm honest. Next thing I know, it's sent me off to sleep.
Even the dogs can sense that she's back. The fuss they're
Not
making.
as much as you. You're wandering around in a daze.
It's my nerves. And I don't even know if she'll recognise me.
People of our class don't have nerves. We're not entitled to them.
I'm part of the family, really.
You'll never be part of the family. You're a servant, but you dress yourself like a lady. Do your hair like Anya.
Why shouldn't I?
It's an affectation. You ought to remember who you are.
Flowers. From the gardener.
2 o'clock in the morning, the gardener's still working.
He couldn't sleep.
I put them in some water.
Give some kvass, would you?
There's actually a frost. The cherry blossom is all out, but it's so changeable, the weather. I don't approve of this Russian climate, you know. These boots are the right size and they still don't fit me.
You told me.
I have rotten luck.
Kvass.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
There you are.
That's the kind of thing that happens to me.
He's proposed.
I see.
He gets flustered. He adores me, and I quite like that.
There's a bit of a
Character.
mess, I was going to say.
Other servants call him Mr. Accident.
Listen, it's them.
They're here. Oh my God, they're here.
Don't panic,
I
Demetra.
can't help it.
Here it is, Mama! I don't have hands anymore, they're just numb.
We've left everything as it was, Mama.
It's the nursery. I slept in here as a little girl. Now I'm a little girl again. Oh, I can't stop weeping. Varia, somehow you always look like a nun. Dunyasha, there you are, looking so grown up.
2 hours late for the train.
Why is that?
What kind of standards are they working to?
My dog is so special. Even Nazi Louis.
That's incredible!
We waited hours.
I haven't slept for 4 nights. Too much going on in my head. Oh, frozen.
There was snow on the ground when we left. And now, well, I've waited and waited for you, my dear, my little one. Guess what? I have to tell you immediately before I burst.
Not now.
Yevgorov, the estate clerk, has proposed.
Still on about it. Oh, I've no hairpins left.
What to think when he adores me so much? Just adores me.
It's my room, my windows. In the morning, I'll run out barefoot into the orchard. If only I could sleep first. Coming home, I couldn't sleep with the worry.
Peachia Trofimov is here.
Peter!
Slipping out to the bathhouse, afraid of being in the way. We should have woken him up when you arrived, but Miss Varia won't hear of it. Don't go waking him up, she says.
Quick, Dunyasha. Get the coffee ready for Mama.
Certainly.
God, you're home. Both of you home again, aren't you? My darling's home. My sweet girl's home.
It's been horrible.
I know.
I left in Holy Week, the cold. Charlotta, when she wasn't talking, she was showing me conjuring tricks. Why did you land me with Charlotta?
You couldn't travel alone at your age, darling.
In Paris, it's cold, it's snowing. My French is rubbish. Mama's up on the 5th floor, and when I arrive, there are guests. All these people I don't know. Some old priest, and everyone's smoking. It's so sordid. I put my arms around Mama, and we just kept crying.
Don't.
The villa outside Monton had gone, of course, to pay all the bills. You know, she's nothing left. I haven't either now, not a kopeck. We scarcely made it here, and she doesn't have a clue. We sit in the station restaurant, and she'll have the most expensive thing on the menu. Tips all of the waiters a ruble each. Charlotta's no different, and Yasha eats us all out of pocket. This footman Mama has, he's come with us.
I saw.
Is the interest paid?
How?
Oh,
The bank is selling the estate in August. By auction.
oh no.
Moo! Moo!
I'd like to punch his face.
Did he propose? Look, he loves you. Why don't you get it sorted? What's all the waiting for?
Nothing's happening. He's very busy. He hasn't got time for me. I'm not noticed. Well, good luck to him, but I can't bear to see him anymore. Everyone talks about our wedding, but in fact, it's all a mirage. It's a bumblebee brooch.
Mama bought it for me, and in Paris I went up in an air balloon.
You're home, sweetheart. You're home. If we could find you a rich man to marry, do you know what I'd do? I'd go to Moscow, to the holy places, just walk through them, keep on walking and walking. Glorious.
The birds are already singing in the orchard. What time can it be?
Time you slept, darling. After 2. Glorious.
Eu sei que vou te amar, por toda a minha vida vou te amar, desesperadamente vou te amar, a cada despedida. E cada verso meu será pra te dizer que eu sempre vou te amar.
All right to come through.
Yasha, you've changed while you were abroad.
And you are...
I was a girl when you left. Dunyasha, Fyodor Kozledov's daughter. You've forgotten?
So cute. What's going on?
I've smashed the saucer.
It will bring good luck.
We should tell Mama about Peter.
I told them not to wake him.
Peter was Grisha's tutor. It'll bring it all back to her. 7 years old when he drowned. Such a handsome little boy, my brother. That's why Mama went to Paris, got away. Couldn't bear to be near the river and seeing Peter, well,
The mistress will take coffee in here. Is it ready, girl? Where's the cream? Where's the cream?
Lord!
Oh, silly young fool. Paris, home from Paris. The master too, he went one.
What are you talking about, Fierce?
What do you want? Oh, my lady's home. I've waited all these years for her to come. Now I can die happy.
How did we do it? Yellow into the corner, then off the cushion into the middle pocket.
And screw back into the corner. Oh, my sister. We slept in this room. Do you remember? Now I'm 51. It doesn't seem possible.
Yes, time goes by.
Who?
I say time goes by.
This place reeks of cheap aftershave.
Bed! Good night, Mamma. My own child. Are you glad we're home? I don't think I shall ever be able to calm down. Good night.
The good Lord keep you safe. Oh, you're the image of your mother, Lou. At her age, you were just like that. Good night, darling.
She's exhausted.
It's a long, long journey, no question of it.
Well, gentlemen, it's time we were going.
Varia? You don't change, do you? Coffee first, then we're all going. Thank you, dear Theas. These days I drink coffee. Thank you, my dear old friend.
I must see if they bought everything.
Can this really be happening? Am I really sitting here in the nursery? I want to dance. I want to leap about. Every time I looked out of the carriage window, I wept. Every face I saw, I burst into tears. Oh, must drink the coffee. Must drink the coffee and be sensible. Theas, it's so good to find my dear old friend alive.
The day before yesterday.
Hearing problem.
I have to leave before 5, off to Cockpit. You are every bit as magnificent as I remember you.
Dressing Paris fashions, I could lose control.
In the eyes of your class, like your sister here, I'm vulgar. I'm a vulgar, money-grabbing peasant, but I don't mind that. All I ask is that you trust me again. That those amazing, heartbreaking eyes look at me the way they used to. For God's sake, my father was a serf. And your father and grandfather owned him, but I've forgotten all of that because you were the one who changed my life. You did so much for me. You're like my own flesh and blood. You're more than my own flesh and blood, and the love and respect
I
feel
can't
for
sit
you.
still. It's physically impossible. I can't take all this joy. Laugh at me. I'm behaving like a madwoman. Oh, it's my bookcase. My own bookcase. And the table. I want to kiss them.
Nana died while you were away.
May she rest in peace. They wrote and told me.
And Anastasia died. Petrushka, remember him with the squint? Left me. Moved to town. Working for the police inspector.
Dashenka, my daughter, sends regards.
I've got some great news for you. I have to leave soon, so no time for a proper discussion, but here's the gist of it. The cherry orchard, the whole estate, is going to be sold on the 22nd of August to cover your debts, but it's not going to happen. I found you a way out. Your estate is only 13 miles out of town, and the railway now runs right past it. Sell the land as building lots. Lease it out as sites for summer cottages. The cherry orchard and all along the river, land like that, you'd be earning at least 25,000 rubles a year.
How? How? This is nonsense.
Well, I don't see how we can do that.
You'll get 10 rubles a year per acre from your leaseholders. Advertise it now, and by the autumn, you won't have a single acre left. It's a marvellous position with this deep river. Congratulations, you're saved.
Yes!
Of course, there's some work needs doing before then, tidying up. The buildings will all need to go, and the cherry orchard has to be cleared.
Clear.
Cut down.
Cut down. Oh, we can't. It's the most famous part of the whole province. There are people who come from Japan to see this cherry orchard.
No one buys any cherries, no one does. Every other year you might get a full crop, and if you do, it rots. No one pays you anything for them.
Dashenka tells me this cherry orchard has its own entry in the encyclopedia.
No, this must be the way forward for you. Otherwise, on the 22nd of August, they'll sell the house and the cherry orchard from under you.
50 years ago, they dried the cherries, they soaked them, they pickled them, they made jam out of them, and year after
Do
year,
be quiet,
they send off
Fiers.
dried cherries by the cartload to Moscow and Kharkov. There was money all right in those days, and the taste of those cherries, soft and juicy and sweet, they knew the recipe.
And what's happened to the recipe now?
I don't remember.
And And in Paris, you must have eaten frog's legs.
I ate crocodile.
That's incredible.
Lots of building land. That's the future we're looking at. Summer cottages for summer country men. And do you know what they'll do when they get here? Well, they'll dig. They'll dig. They'll dig and they'll put in vegetables and flowers and bushes. And before you know it, your old cherry orchard will be full of life again.
This is rubbish.
Mama, there are 2 telegrams that came for you from Paris. They're in the bookcase.
Paris is over.
Lou, do you know how old this bookcase is? Last week I pulled out the bottom drawer and someone had burned some numbers in there with a poker. This bookcase is exactly 100 years old.
Incredible.
What do you think of that?
Quite incredible.
We could celebrate its centenary even if it's just an object because it's a bookcase.
100 years.
Yes, an achievement. Dear bookcase, most distinguished bookcase, I salute your life which has been devoted to knowledge. Your shelves carry in them the seeds of all that is best in human thought and ideals. For 100 years, through all the generations of our family, you have fostered a faith in all that is good and pure and rational, in social consciousness, and
Yes, well,
Getting a bit late.
You don't change, do you, Lena?
yellow into the middle pocket.
I really do have to go.
It's time for your pills.
Oh! You don't want to take those? Terrible habit. Here, let me. There! Problem solved!
Got back!
I've taken the load.
Something about greedy.
At Easter, he ate most of the pickled cucumbers.
What was that?
She just mutters, we're used to it now.
Old age, isn't it? Good night.
I haven't had a chance to say hello.
Let you kiss my hand. The next thing I know, you'll want my elbow and then my shoulder.
Not very much luck, am I? At least show us a conjuring trick.
Too tired.
I'll see you all in 3 weeks. Until then, goodbye. I'm sorry I have to leave just at this moment, but remember, when you do approve the plans for the building lots, I can get you 50,000 on account.
Will you go?
I'm going. I'm going.
A boor. The man's a boor. Oh, sorry. Who's your fiancé, Maria?
Oh, Aunt, please don't start all that.
Why, Varia? He's a good man. I'd be happy for you.
A most worthy man, it has to be said. And my Dashenka, she says that, and she says, well, quite a lot of things. If you could just lend me 240 rubles. The interest on my mortgage is due tomorrow.
No.
I really have nothing, my love.
Well, it will be found somehow. I never lose hope. Here we are. I think everything is finished, but not at all. Because now, the railways come through my land, and they paid me. And sooner or later, something else will turn up.
The coffee's finished. Off to bed.
These are the wrong clothes you put on. What am I going to do with
Tony's
you?
asleep. The sun's up already. It's not cold. Look, Mama, what marvellous trees they are. And the air, and the starlings chattering away.
The orchard's all in white. Remember, Lou? The way it shines on a moonlit night. The long avenue running straight on like a stretched out ribbon. You do remember, don't you? You couldn't forget that.
Oh, my childhood. All the days of my innocence I slept in this nursery. I looked out from that window into the cherry orchard, and happiness woke with me every morning. The orchard was the same then. It hasn't changed. All in white. Oh, my orchard. After grim autumn, foul, foul winter, again you're young and filled with hope and not abandoned by the angels. If only the millstone could be lifted from my neck. If only I could forget my past.
Even the orchard will be sold. If
Look, there's Mama! Our old Mama walking through the orchard in a white dress. It's her!
Where?
God, Mama, she's been dead 20 years.
Oh, there's no one there. It just looked like it for a moment. On the right, to the turning towards the summer house. tree bending under its blossom like the figure of a woman. What an amazing orchard. The white masses of blossom, the blue of the sky.
Lubov Andreevna. I just want to pay my respects and then I'll leave you in peace. They told me to wait until morning, but I just couldn't.
It's Pitya.
Trofimov. Petya Trofimov. I was Greece's tutor, didn't you recognise me?
Come on, Lou. Come on, Lou.
Pitya, why couldn't you wait?
My Grisha! My boy. Little boy.
It's with Godmamma.
There, please.
My boy died. Was drowned. Why, Mitya, why? Anya's sleeping. I ought to be quiet. What happened to your looks, Pitya?
The other day a woman on a train said I was a bit mangy looking.
Yes, you were just a boy yourself back then. Now you've got glasses. And a receding hairline. Surely you're not still a student.
I'm a perpetual student. The wandering student.
Off to bed. Lena's older too.
My gun is playing up. I'll stay in one of the guest rooms tonight, I think. If you could just lend me 240 rubles in the morning.
Won't let it go, will he?
I have nothing, sweetheart.
Oh, you'll get it back, you know, it's nothing.
Well, Lena has some. Would you, Lena?
He can whistle.
What can we do? Just give it to him. He needs it. He'll give it back to me.
Still in the habit of flinging her money around, my sister. Oh, do go away. You smell of chickens.
You're just the same as you always were.
Who? What is he saying?
Your mother's been sitting in the servants' hall since yesterday waiting to see you. Good luck to her. You've no shame. Why didn't she come tomorrow? Mama's no different. She just gives it away.
Yes. When people look for so many remedies for a disease, it usually means it's incurable. I think. I beat my brains trying to find something. An inheritance. Marry Anya to a rich man. Go to Yaroslavl and ask that aunt of ours. She's incredibly wealthy.
God would help us.
Oh, don't. Aunt may be rich, but she doesn't like us. My sister married a lawyer instead of a gentleman with his own property. Married beneath her. Behaved like a... She's good. She's kind. She's an amazing woman. And I love her dearly. But with all extenuating circumstances aside, there is something of the slut about my sister. You can sense it in the slightest move she makes.
Anya's here.
Who? Oh yeah, I've got something in my right eye. On Thursday in town.
Why don't you sleep, Anya?
I can't sleep.
Oh, my sweet girl, my child. You're not my niece, you're an angel. You're the whole world to me. Do believe me, do trust me.
I trust you, Aunt. Everyone loves you and looks up to you, but sometimes you should be quiet. You were talking about my mother, about your own sister.
God forgive me. And I made a speech to the bookcase. Stupid. And I didn't realise how stupid it was until afterwards.
Just be quiet sometimes.
And you wouldn't come out with these things.
Oh, I'm going to be quiet, I promise you. Not talk so much, not a word more. There is just one thing. On Thursday in town, I met a few people. It seems there may be a way of arranging a further loan.
If God would help us.
Yes, I'll look into this further loan. Leparkin, you know, would never refuse your mother anything. Anya, if you would go to Yaroslavl, I know you could persuade our aunt. You see, there are options. Hope hasn't entirely abandoned us. I swear, we won't have to sell the estate, girls. If I let it go to auction, well, you can call me the lowest of the low, but it's not going to happen. There are still things we can do.
What a good woman you are, Aunt.
Yeah.
A good and clever woman. I'm calm now. I'm quite calm. I feel happy.
You ought to be in bed at this hour. Don't you have any shame?
Oh, apparently not. But I've been loved by the people. I'm a woman of the 80s. I've always had my convictions, and I've suffered for them, you know. I think that's why the peasant women recognise in me
Aunt,
as...
you're talking again.
Just be quiet for a few hours.
Lena Andreevna!
Oh, coming. Screw back into the middle.
At least I'm calm. I can't imagine anything worse than going to Yaroslav to ask Aunt for money, but why not?
We have to go to bed at some point. Do you know what happened while you were away? In the servants' quarters? It's just the elderly servants now, of course. Yefimushka, Polya, Yevstigny, Kartu, they were letting these riffraffs spend the night there. I didn't say anything. Then I hear they've been spreading rumours that I've been feeding on nothing but dried peas. This is all Yevstigny, of course. Right, I think, if that's how we're playing it. Send for Yevstigny, so I say to him, what's all this you've been coming out with? You're asleep, Yeshka. Sweetheart. Off to bed then. Off we go. Shh. She's asleep. Off we go, my precious girl.
Come on, Aunt. So tired, dear Aunt.
Off we go, my love. Off we go.
My sunshine. My springtime. When I was a little girl, my mother and father used to go around all the fairs and give shows. They were good shows. I'd be doing somersaults and all kinds of little tricks. Oh, when they died, a German lady took me in and educated me. So I grew up with me a governess. But where I come from, who I am, I don't know. Who my parents were, whether they even married or not, I don't know. Oh, nah. I don't know anything really.
How lovely it would be to spend some time abroad.
Couldn't agree more. Everything abroad is so well established. Obviously.
I was just thinking, Dunyasha, about what I personally want in life. Should I go on living? Shoot myself? I always carry a revolver, you know.
Perhaps that will make you a genius. Women ought to be falling at your feet. Isn't that what you think?
Anyone like me who has read Buckle, The History of Civilization, has to ask why he wakes up one morning with a huge spider on his chest. I mean, what is the significance of that? Could we have a word or two?
All right.
Alone?
Why don't you go fetch my coat? from the house first. It's getting damp.
So now I know why I carry a revolver. Mr. Accident. What a complete fool he is.
I don't want him to shoot himself, though. Do you see my hands? They're white like ladies. I don't even think like ordinary people anymore. It was because I was taken into service so young. I've forgotten that way of life. I'm too delicate now. Everything frightens me. And if you were to deceive me, Yasha, there are things that you said that I can't get out of my mind.
Real country girl, aren't you? Did you enjoy what you did? But a girl's got to know how to behave herself, you know.
I'm so passionately in love with you, Yasha. You're so educated, and you can talk about anything.
But just because of what happens doesn't mean you can forget how to behave yourself. It's a good cigar, this. Oh, it's them. Go home as if you've been for a swim in the river, along that path. Otherwise they'll think we're together.
I wanted us to be seen together.
It's just not possible to get.
It has to be settled now. There isn't any time left. Look, it's simple. Will you agree to lease out the land for summer cottages or not? Just one word, yes or no?
Who's smoking a foul cigar?
It's very convenient now they've built the railway. We popped into town and had some lunch. Yellow into the milk pocket. I should have gone in and had a game before we came out here.
Well, there's still time.
Just one word. Give me an answer.
There was a lot of money in my purse yesterday. Today, there's hardly any. There's Varia feeding everyone on milk soup and dried peas, and look at me, I just spend it all. Oh, and now it's all gone on the ground.
I'll get it for you, madam.
Would you, Yasha? Why did we go for lunch in that horrible restaurant of yours, Lena? You drank so much, ate so much, talked so much. Fancy talking to the whole restaurant and to the waiters about the 70s and about the decadent. Why would they need to know?
What's he doing here? You're always in the way.
Every time I hear your voice, I want to laugh.
Either he goes or I do.
Yasha?
Of course.
Reganov is going to buy your estate. He's a rich man coming to the sale in person, I hear.
Our aunt in Yaroslavl promised to send something, but how much and when?
What would it be? 100,000? 200,000?
10 or 15 if it ever arrives.
Forgive me, but such unthinking people, such impractical people, I don't know if I've ever come across. The estate is for sale and you won't understand.
What can we do? Tell us.
Every day, I tell you. Every day, the exact same thing. The cherry orchard and all the land along the river has to be leased out for summer cottages, and it has to happen now. The sale is happening. Get it in your heads. If you have the houses, you will have money and you will be safe.
Summer cottages, summer people. This is all so vulgar.
Quite.
I want to scream. I want to burst into tears, run away, or fall down in a faint. I am in despair of you people. Useless!
Who?
You aren't yourself and her!
No, don't go. Stay with us. We'll think of something.
Of what?
Red. Cushion. Into the corner.
It's more fun when you're here. I keep expecting the house to come down around our ears as punishment for our sins.
What are your sins?
I spent everything on fruit drops.
Oh, my sins. Throwing money about like a lunatic. I married a man whose debts were his life's work. He died of champagne, my husband. He was a terrible drinker. And then I had some bad luck. I fell in love with someone. Gave myself to him. And that was when, and this was my first punishment, my little boy drowned in the river. It was like a club coming down on my head. I went away. Went abroad. I didn't want to look on that river ever again. I just ran blindly. He ran after me. Wouldn't let me be. Wouldn't let me have a moment's peace. Wanted me completely to himself. And then he fell ill in Monton, so I bought the villa there. For 3 years he was an invalid. Drained the strength from my body. I When the villa was sold off to pay the debts, I went to Paris, and he quite openly robbed me and then threw me aside for another woman. I took poison. Tried to. It didn't work. Stupid, shameful thing. That was when I longed to see Russia again. My homeland. My daughter. Lord, have mercy on me. Forgive me my sins. Don't punish me anymore. Telegrams keep coming from Paris. He tells me he'll change. Begs me to forgive him. Go back. Paris is over. I can hear music.
Oh, that's our famous Jewish orchestra. Do you remember?
Oh, it's still on the go. We ought to have them here. Arrange an evening.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, some more of
You
you
should be wearing warmer clothes. Put this on.
Oh, you are a total boor, Fierce.
And you ought to keep your manners and wear more clothes.
Fusspot.
Silly young fool. Follow my advice and you'll live as long as I have. I remember when the freedom came in '61. I didn't agree to have it. Everyone's celebrating, but they didn't know what they were celebrating for.
It was lovely when they flogged you.
Oh, they were. Everyone was in the right place before the freedom. You knew where you were in those days.
Seems our wandering student has been wandering with the young ladies.
Your business, is it?
He'll be 50 before he knows where he is and still a student.
Cut the jokes.
Oh, losing your temper, Mr. Weird.
Could you stop trying to bully me?
We'll have a go back, son. What about me?
You are a wealthy, soon-to-be millionaire, many times over businessman. Nature has predatory animals to keep things in balance. Russia has you.
Teacher, change the subject. Tell us about the stars.
No, let's finish our conversation from yesterday.
About what?
Pride.
There can't be any pride in the sense you mean unless there's some kind of human progress. No good admiring ourselves and our place in the universe when every day we're confronted with stupidity.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, we're not living up to our true potential. Most of the time, we're a shadow of what we could be.
You're such a clever man, Peachy.
Oh, incredibly.
In Russia, the people who could realise this potential are not putting the work in. I mean the intelligentsia. Where are the thinkers? Art, science, education, political education? They play at these things as if they were a parlour game. But the Russian intelligentsia have no idea how to make them impact on the lives of real people. Flesh and blood people. Tell me, what have they done to change the fact that we live in a Russia in which people are sleeping 30 or 40 to a room with inadequate food and sanitary conditions that you wouldn't allow for the animals on your estate? And what have we to feel pride in? With disease rife and not enough hospitals to treat people? With children homeless and begging on the streets of our cities? With infant mortality at record rates? Is that a Russia we can be proud of? Where are the creches? Where are the libraries? What's the point in all this talking when no one will act?
Revolution! Off with their heads!
Listen, I can work the long hours. I'm up at 5 every morning. I work all the hours God sends. I'm constantly handling money, my own and other people's, and I can't help seeing what people are like. You start to do something, you start to make something. That's when you find out how few human beings there are in the world that are honest and decent and capable of changing anything. You know, sometimes when I can't sleep, I think, Lord, you gave us immense forests, boundless plains, broad horizons. Living in all this, we ought to be giants.
I'd be frightened of giants. They ought to stay in fairy tales. What was that?
Must be a mine cable parted somewhere a long way off. A long way off, though.
It could have been a bird, a heron, or an owl, perhaps.
Horrible. I don't know why.
It was like this before the Troubles. The owls screeching, the samovar moaning.
Oh,
Before what troubles?
Before the freedom.
Listen, everyone, we ought to be going. Anya, why are you crying?
Nothing, just tears, doesn't matter.
Someone coming.
Beg your pardon. Is this route to the station?
Oh yes, along this path.
Great with you. Wonderful weather. Go to the Volga. Hear again the song it sings. The song of groans. The litany of howling men brought from weary hearts and bones. Volga! All spring's melted snows, and still you cannot flood your plain, as wide as this land overflows, with all its peoples, sea of pain. Mademoiselle, spare your Cockpit and start in Russian.
That's enough. Be on your way.
Wait, here you are. Oh, I know silver. Never mind, here's 10 rubles.
I am certainly grateful to you, lady.
I'm going in. We've nothing for the servants to eat, and you give him 10 rubles, Mama.
What to do with me? So silly. I'll give the rest to you when we get home. Can you lend me some more?
Service.
There, Varia. At least you're marrying a kind man.
Don't joke about it, Mama.
Get thee to a nunnery, Ophelia, Ophelia.
My hands are shaking. I've been missing my billiards.
O nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins dismembered.
He frightened me. Really frightened me.
The sale is on the 22nd of August. I do implore you to listen to me.
We've got the tramp to thank for frightening Varia off. At last we get to be alone.
She's afraid we'll fall in love with each other. She doesn't let us out of her sight for days at a time. What she can't get her narrow little mind around is that we're above such things as love. Our whole aim is to rid ourselves of all the petty illusions that stop us really being happy. We're going on to that bright star, far off, and no one's going to hold us back. On, marching together, friends.
How beautifully you talk. It's wonderful here today.
Amazing weather.
What have you done to me, Peacher? Why don't I love the cherry orchard like I used to? I loved it so much I thought there couldn't be anywhere else like it on earth.
All Russia is our orchard. The earth is beautiful and wide. There are so many marvellous places. Think, Anya. Your grandfather owned serfs. And your great-grandfather and all your forebears owned human beings. Can't you see their faces, these people? Looking out of every tree trunk in the orchard, out of every branch and leaf and cherry. Can't you hear their voices? It was their labour that produced all this whole estate. And it changed all of you. Don't you see it? So that your mother and your aunts don't even notice you're living on credit at the expense of all the people you don't allow past your front door. The time for philosophising is gone. The talking. What we need in Russia is history. Real history. That pinpoints what's wrong with the past and lets us change it. Change ourselves, Anya.
It isn't our house anymore. It hasn't been for a long time.
Throw the keys down the well and go. Free as the wind.
Can you imagine Varia threw her keys down the well?
Try it.
I'm leaving, I give you my word.
You can't imagine what it's like out there, in the real Russia. The things I've seen, the places I've been to. Have faith in me, Anya. I'm still young. I'm still a young man. I've been sick and fearful every winter, and poor as a beggar, but every minute of every day I've had faith in the future. future I know is coming. It's like a premonition. It's like a premonition of happiness.
Oh, the moon's coming up.
Anya, where are you?
Yes, the moon is coming up. Here it is. Happiness. The future. Closer and closer so we can almost touch it. A new world, Anya. And if we don't see it, if we never know its face, then what does it matter? Others will.
Anya, where are you?
It's that Varia again, spoiling everything.
Oh, come on. Let's go down to the river. It's nice there.
Anya, Anya.
Zdravstvujte, a teraz tańczymy!
Hey!
Blood pressure. That's what gets in my way. I have 2 strokes, you know. Dancing isn't all that easy for me. But I'm determined, and I'm as strong as a horse. My late father, God rest his soul, used to say the whole family was descended from the horse that Caligula made consul. Bit of a humorist, you see? Despite the distinguished ancestry, we haven't a sou to our name. Not a penny. What do people say? A hungry dog believes only in meat. These days, money is all I think about.
You are a bit horse-like.
It's a good beast. You can sell a horse for a good price.
Madame Lobachina, Madame Lobachina.
A mangy-looking gentleman. We've hired musicians, but what are we going to pay them with?
Nietzsche, the philosopher, a very impressive man, says it's all right to forge banknotes.
You've read Nietzsche now, haven't you?
Well, Dashenka, my daughter, was telling me about him. Way things are, even if I start forging the damn things. I've got 330 rubles to pay the day after tomorrow. I've got 130. sweat.
What is taking Lena so long in town? Dunyasha! Ask the musicians if they'd like some tea.
The sale may not have gone ahead.
It wasn't the moment for a band, for a ball.
Think of a card, any card you like.
I thought of it.
Right, my dear Mr. Peschek. Have a look and you'll find it in your side pocket. Ein, zwei, drei.
The 8 of spades.
Oh!
That's absolutely incredible.
But what card? Quick, what is it? Oh, I don't know, the Queen of Spades.
Right. Top card, what is it?
The Ace of Hearts. Oh!
Marvellous weather we're having. Yes, wonderful weather. You are my heart's ideal. Yes, I'll take a fancy to you.
Madame the ventriloquist.
Incredible. What an enchanting woman you are. I think I've fallen in love with you.
In love? Are you really capable of love? Guter Mensch, aber Schwechter Musiker.
Too much of a horse, just
Whatever.
Still no sign of Lena.
Aunt Lena has bought the estate, I'm sure of it.
Of course she has.
Great aunt gave her authority to purchase it in her name and to transfer the mortgage to her. She did it for Anya's sake.
Your aunt sent 15,000 rubles. Not even enough to pay the interest. It's my fate they're deciding today.
Madame Lobakin.
Oh, the wondering student. How many universities have they thrown you out of now,
Don't be so cross, Faria. He's only teasing. If you want to marry Leparkin, then marry him. He's a good man. What are you waiting for?
Ma, I can't propose to him. For 2 years now, everyone's been talking about us marrying. They're all talking about it, but he doesn't say a word. He's too busy making his fortune. If I had 100 rubles, I'd go this minute to a retreat, to the holy places.
Glorious.
Oh. Why are you so ugly, Pitya? Why are you such a freak? What am I meant to do if it's sold, Mama? I need to do something every minute of the day. How am I meant to cope without that?
You're picking up Spark in the billiards cue!
What's Yepidov doing at the ball? Who said he could play billiards? I simply don't understand these people.
Don't tease her, Peacher. Can't you see how unhappy she is?
She's very diligent, I'll say that for her. She spent her whole summer trying to keep me and Anya apart. She's terrified we're romantically involved. What's it to do with her? Particularly since I've shown no sign whatsoever. Not as obvious, as vulgar as that. Anyway, we're above such things as love.
I suppose I must be beneath them.
The estate's going to be sold, you know that. You have to stay calm, face up to the truth for once in your life. It isn't about today, all this. It was finished long ago, the past's grown over, there's no way back.
What truth do you think I should face up to, Paris, maybe? Living in a few rooms in town? At this rate, I'll end up in the hayloft of my aunt's stables in Yaroslavl. The truth. The truth. It's all so easy for you, isn't it, Peacher? You settle the big questions, but you haven't even lived. Can't you, for once, show me some understanding, some generosity? Why? Why are you constantly judging me? Yes, that's it, judgmental, that's what you are.
I'm not judging you, I feel for you.
I need to be surrounded by this. I need this noise, this chatter. Without it, I'm just terrified by the silence. You could marry Anya, you know. If you'd only finish your studies and settle down to something. Join the real world. Above such things as love. What an absurd thing to say. Fancy not having a mistress at your age.
I know you're under a lot of stress, but this is not acceptable.
I will go back to Paris. He's ill again, you know. He needs me. Needs me to sort his medicines for him. Needs me to keep him from getting into trouble. And the only steadying influence he's got.
You shouldn't have said those things.
What, that you're a freak? An overgrown schoolboy that lectures everyone else on how to live when he hasn't lived himself?
You can't be saying this.
But I am saying it, Peacher. And do you know why? Because it's the truth. You're a laughing stock. A joke, not a man. Not a man any woman could take seriously. Oh, Peacher, come back. I don't mean a word of it.
used to put turpentine directly on your wounds if you had any. It hurt like hell, but it did the trick.
They really ought to put you to sleep, you know?
Silly young fool.
Why are you pulling that face, Piers? Are you ill? You could go to bed, you know.
Oh yes, I go to bed. Who's going to wait on everyone? Who's going to see to everything? There's only me to do the whole house.
Madam, please, can I ask a special favour? If you go to Paris, please take me with you. I can't possibly stay here. You can see for yourself what I have to put up with. Fierce muttering away, behaviour in the servants' hall. It's an uneducated country. I just don't fit in. And the food they give us is disgusting, and the boredom. This place just really isn't for me. Please take me with you, I beg you.
Miss told me to dance to make up the partners. My head is spinning and my heart's pounding. The postmaster told me something that took my breath away.
What was that?
He said,
You like flour.
You don't want to see me, do you? I'm just some kind of insect to you. What do you want? You have reduced me to a complete and utter state of mind. Every day there's some new misfortune. But it's my fate. I just smile.
we'll talk about it later. Let me dream for a bit.
Yepikadov, what are you doing here? Out, Dunyasha. First you play billiards and break the queue, and now you parade about the drawing room as if you were a guest.
I don't have to account to you for my behaviour.
I'm not asking you to account for anything. I'm telling you to get out. We keep a clerk, but heaven knows what for. You do no work. You wonder about the place getting in people's way.
Whether I do any work, whether I eat, drink, play billiards isn't your concern.
You dare talk to me like that. You dare! Get out! Get out!
You talk to me, not to
Out of my sight, you waste of space!
Oh, thank you for the warm welcome.
I didn't mean you.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I'm sorry.
Aye, you smell brandy.
Is it him? Why so long? Where's Lena?
Oh, she arrived with me. She's just coming.
What happened? Did they hold the sale? It's
The
me.
sale ended just on 4 o'clock. We missed the train. Had to wait till 9:30. Oh, my head's going round.
Lena! Lena! What happened? Oh, for the love of God, quickly!
Fears. Crimean herrings. I haven't eaten all day.
What happened at the sale?
7 and 18!
Hey! What I've been through.
Who bought it?
I did. I bought it. The cherry orchard I bought it. Wait, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't hear those words and stay calm. It's impossible, but it's happening. Please listen to me. Shh. Zareginov was there. I told you he would be. All your sister had was 15,000. Zareginov bid the mortgage in 30. I thought, all right, if that's how it is, and I got to grips with him. I bid 40, him 45, me 55, so he's going up in 5s, I'm going up in 10s. I bid the mortgage in 90, and that was that! The cherry orchard is mine! Great God, it's mine! Don't you understand? My head's spinning. I am the owner of the cherry orchard! My father and grandfather could rise from their graves and see their Yermolay. Their beaten, half-starved, illiterate Yermolay who ran barefoot in winter. If they could see me, owner of the estate where they were slaves, where they weren't even allowed into the kitchens. It's the most beautiful thing that could ever be in the world. This moment, I know it's not a dream or an illusion. Hey! Hey, you in the band, play away, I want to hear you! Everyone, come and hear Yermolay the Parkin! Take his axe to the cherry orchard! Oh, my poor dear love, why didn't you listen to me? You won't bring it back now. It was just over. All of it. We could somehow change this miserable, muddled life of ours.
We'll go next door. She's crying.
You see? I can even pay for that to happen.
Mamma, don't cry. Sweet, beautiful, kind Mamma. I love you. I bless you. The cherry orchard's sold, it's gone, that's true, but don't cry, Mama. You still have a life ahead of you, and things to look forward to, and a generous, beautiful soul. You and I, we can go away together now. We can start again, love. We can find new orchards, new places. The world is all before us. Where to choose our rest, and Providence our guide.
Thank you. Every one of you. Thank you.
It's the peasants making their farewells. There may be decent people amongst them, but they're not the sharpest bunch.
Lou, you gave them your purse. You really must not do that.
I had to. I just had to, after all I've done.
A farewell drink. This bottle is all I can find at the station. Well, if you won't, you won't. I can't say I feel like it either. You may as well have one, Yasha. Help yourself.
To all those leaving and all those staying. This isn't real champagne, you know.
It cost me 8 rubles. So cold in there.
They didn't like the stoves. What would be the point of all leaving?
What are you laughing at?
Just the way I feel.
October, with the sun shining and it's perfect building weather. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the train leaves in 46 minutes. We need to leave in 20 minutes. Get a move on, everyone.
Almost time to go. Carriages are outside and I can't find my galoshes anywhere. Anya! Have you seen my galoshes?
Off to Kharkov. Same train as you. I'll be there all winter. It's been driving me crazy sitting about here all this time with nothing to do. I have to work. Look at my hands. Without work, they look out of place, like they belong to someone else.
Well, you'll soon be doing all those terribly important things again.
Have a drink.
No, thanks.
Off to Moscow then.
Yes, into town with them today, on to Moscow tomorrow morning.
All the professors will be celebrating your return. Give them some work to do.
It's not your business.
How many decades have you been at university now?
Don't you have any new material? Look, I don't suppose we'll meet again. You really ought not to throw yourself about like you do. Pointing, gesticulating, it's all a way of getting people's attention. As is the whole thing with the summer cottages, all that speculating and renting and trying to make entrepreneurs out of the people who lease the plots. Look at me, you say, you're Malila Parkin, if you want to know. It's all a bit desperate. But, all the same, I still can't help liking you. Your fingers are like an artist's. Fine. Sensitive. And your soul is too, if you did but know it.
Suppose this is goodbye then. When you have some money for the journey.
I don't need your money.
Don't be so proud.
I've got my own money. They paid me for a translation. What I'm short of is my galoshes.
Here, take your junk away.
But those aren't my galoshes.
I've just made 40,000 rubles. I planted 3,000 acres of poppy in the spring. So beautiful it looked. Accept it as a loan. It'll make a difference down the line. You could come to Kharkov. Pay it back. Look, I'm a peasant. I'm not going to beg.
Your father was a peasant, mine was a chemist. Is that significant somehow? Leave it. I'm not going to take your money. All these things that matter to you, they don't mean anything to me. Humanity is going to find happiness without all the things you scrabble after so determinedly. We're headed for something higher. Better than this.
And that's where you're headed.
Yeah. Me, or people like me.
Well, goodbye, Peter. That's what it has to be. We fight like cat and dog, you and me, but I can't help feeling. When I'm at work, and I can work the long hours without flagging, I feel easier in myself. I have reason to exist. And how many people are there in Russia with nothing to account for and no reason to go on living? Her sister's founding a school. Can you imagine? How long's that going to last?
Mama says, can they please not cut any more trees down till she's gone?
Tact, for God's sake! Did you know about
I'll
this?
have them to stop.
Her Fia's gone to hospital.
Yeah, I told them it's all been taken care of.
Can you see if Fia's has been taken to hospital?
I already told Diego. What's the point in everyone asking?
It's a bit late for hospital in Faze's case, isn't it? May as well just drop her off at the undertaker's.
Me too, the way things are going.
Oh, Mr. Accident. Has Fia's gone to hospital?
Yes, she has.
But the letter to the doctors is still
Well, it
here.
can be sent on, can't it?
Yasha, your mother's here to say goodbye.
Why are you abandoning me, Yasha?
You can't possibly expect me to live here. I've seen all I want of ignorance and poverty. Oh, it's nothing personal, Dunyasha, please. Pull yourself together, behave properly and stop snivelling.
Write to me. I like to think of you in Paris. Don't you know how deeply in love with you I was? How much I've suffered?
They're coming.
We really ought to be going. There's not much time. Who is that smell of herrings from?
10 minutes, and then we'll go. Farewell, house. Farewell, old friend. I'll pull you down in the spring. What these walls have seen. Oh, you look amazing, aren't you? Radiant. Are you pleased? It's a new life.
Yes. Before the sale, everything was horrible. We were all traumatised. But once the sale went through, once everything was settled, everyone started to calm down. We all cheered up no end. Now I'm going to be an educator. Pass on some of what I know. Help form young minds. Screw back into the middle. And Lou, you look so wonderful now.
I'm sleeping well. It's extraordinary. Yasha, take my case out. We'll see each other soon, sweetheart. I've got that money from your aunt in Yaroslavl. Hooray! God knows how long it'll last.
Come back soon, Mama. Once I've got my exams, I'll be able to work. I can earn money for the both of us then. We'll read so many books together. It's going to be amazing, the two of us reunited.
Yes, of course it will be.
Oh, you canny shop your granny off the bus. Oh, you canny shop your granny off the bus. Oh, you canny shop your granny, 'cause she's your mammy's mother. You canny shop your granny off the bus.
Oh, Charlotte is so happy. She's singing.
Oh, little baby. Off to bye-byes. Hush, little one. Hush, my darling. Oh, little mite.
Oh,
Can you find a place for me? I don't know how I'll manage otherwise.
we'll find you something, don't you worry. Well, of all people.
Let me get my breath back. The state I'm in. My days, how lovely. Have you got a glass of water?
Only after money, I expect. Well, don't look at me.
It's been a while, hasn't it? You wonderful woman. And you're here, man of the most remarkable intelligence. Well, that's perfect. Here, take 400 rubles and I give you the other 800 within a fortnight.
Where did you get all this money?
Wait, hold on, bothered. Incredible thing happened. Some Englishmen turn up out of the blue. They only go and find some sort of valuable white clay on my land. This is 400 for you. Amazing, perfect woman. A young man on the train was telling me about a philosopher who recommends jumping off the roof. Apparently that's the only problem in life, whether to jump. Incredible. Have you got some water?
Who are these Englishmen?
I gave them a 24-year lease on the land with the clay in it. Can't stay, I've got to gallop round to Old Snowycop, then on to Kadamanov. I owe money all over the place. Good help. I'll drop by on Thursday.
We won't be here. We'll be in town.
In town? Is that what all this is about? All the furniture gone, all these suitcases? So this is it? You're going. Very intelligent, these Englishmen. Well, that's it. I suppose everything has to come to an end. God bless you wherever you go. If one day you hate that time, if you hear, it's the end for me. Remember these old halls and say to yourselves, that was Simen of Piszczyk. God bless him and think I feel for you. Dashenka sends her regards.
We should go. Oh, two things that worry me though. Fears, they got her off to the hospital.
Yasha told me it's all been looked after.
And then there's Varia. She looks so lost. I don't think she's recovered from the shock of the sale. It's like she's without her whole purpose in life. You two, well, I had thought, if you were married, I could be easy in my mind. She loves you, and you're fond of her, so why avoid each other all the time?
I've no idea. None whatsoever. It's a complete mystery to me. But if you think she'd accept me, and once you're off to Paris, well, I can't see it happening. So, now's the time, isn't it?
Exactly. I'll send her in. I'm so pleased with you.
And we've got champagne. Did have before someone drank the lot.
Yasha! Varia! Varia!
I can't seem to find it anywhere.
What's that?
Oh, just something I thought I got already.
So, where are you headed?
To the Regulars. That's the plan. I've agreed to keep an eye on the running of the household for them, to be housekeeper.
They're in Yashlavno, aren't they? How far is that? About 45 miles, say? Well, no more life in this house.
I just don't understand where I left it in the trunk. No. No more life in this house. Never again.
And I'm off to Kharkov. Same train, different destination. I'll be rushed off my feet in Kharkov, so I'm leaving Yepigidov in charge. I've taken him on.
Really?
Last year at this time, there was snow on the ground. But now it's bright and calm, but cold. It's the frost.
Frost. I didn't look. And our barometer's broken.
Where is Lopakin?
Coming!
We should go.
Yes, Mama. I'll make it to the Ragulins today, so long as we don't miss that train.
Anya, we're going.
On our way.
I should say a few words at a moment like this. The feelings I have today are such...
Aunt!
Off the cushion, into the middle, not a word.
What are we waiting for?
You're picking off my coat!
I need to stop here for a minute or two more. It's like I've never looked at these walls before.
I can see my father walking to church down that path. I was 6 years old, sitting on the windowsill.
Is that all the cases?
Everything. Check it, won't you? Don't worry, I've got everything under control. What's wrong with your voice?
I've swallowed the wrong way.
Mr. Accident.
There won't be a living soul left here.
Until the spring.
Whoa! Oh, I wasn't going to hit you.
You really must be off if we're going to make that train.
I found your galoshes, Pitya. They're the dirtiest galoshes I've ever seen.
Come on.
The train. In off into the middle.
Go.
Is that everybody? We must look up.
Goodbye, old house. Goodbye, old life.
Hello, new life.
Until the spring!
My sister. My sister!
Oh, my dear. My sweet, lovely orchard. My life, my youth, my happiness. Goodbye.
Mama.
Come on.
One last look at the walls, the windows. I can see my poor mother walking through this room.
My sister. My sister!
Mama.
Hello. Hello.
Coming. Locked. They're gone. They forgot about me. Well, I'll just sit here for a bit. She won't have a winter coat on, I know it. Never learn, these youngsters. My life's flashed by, and it's like I've not lived at all. It's all gone by, and... I'll lie down. No strength, have you? Nothing left, nothing. Silly old